does happen. Well, our next guest is a Sydney divorce lawyer turned online sensation. Fidan has amassed nearly 200,000 followers on TikTok, sharing legal stories and her everyday life.
I've just gotten out of work and driving home to pick up my kids from daycare, and there's a big spider in my car. And I managed to drive, staring at the spider, holding one shoe. I've got my eye on him in case he tries to move.
I actually don't think I could do that. Now, Fidan has self-published her own book, which chronicles her dating experiences. It takes readers through the highs and the lows and everything in between in her quest to find the one. And it's already an Amazon bestseller. Fidan joins us now on the couch. Good morning to you. Well, the book shares stories about dating in your 30s. How hard is it? Tell us some of your tips.
It's really difficult, and I remember, I'm 44 now, but I remember how hard it was, and I was just obsessed with the fact that I can find someone. If I just manifest it and I'm really determined, how hard could it be? I live in Sydney, there's lots of guys, I can do this. So I thought I will blog it. I will type everything and write my journey because I've never failed in anything in my life. If I want a husband, God damn it, I can get one.
Yeah, go girl.
Yeah, that was the idea.
So you decided to document it in a book, right?
Well, at first it was a blog. So I wrote it as a blog 10 years ago and said, you know, guy one, date one. And I'm at my computer anonymously and I blogged the whole thing over 2 years saying I can find a husband. With the idea of if you manifest something, it can come to you. So by the end of the 2-year hunt, because it was a hunt for a husband, I learned a lot along the way, and I think the sort of tips from it are be confident. So you have to be happy in yourself to be able to find someone. So just say, I'm fabulous, I can do this, and you know what, I don't need you. So if it doesn't work out, you just think it's all right, I can meet somebody else, no problem.
Oh, you've got to be confident enough to walk away because this is so hard. What were the dates like, some of the worst ones? Because they're always the fun ones. Yeah,
well, there's a whole book of the bad ones, frankly. I think probably the one that comes to mind is what I like to call the Mad Hatter. So this guy looked great on paper, had all the right stats, because, you know, I had a little checklist back then. I thought, this guy's great. He's not only getting dinner, he's getting a show. So I said, OK, dinner and a show. He said, I'll make the reservation, I'll get the tickets. So we turn up for dinner. No reservation. So we end up sitting at a communal table side by side on a first date, not opposite, side by side. Okay. So that was a little awkward. And then we go to the show and he was like, OK, here's your ticket. I'll see you after the show.
What?
Yeah,
Didn't go with you?
He got 2 singles because he's like, I couldn't get seats together. So I ended up sitting at the front and then he had this hat on during dinner, like a tall hat, like an Abraham Lincoln sort of hat. I thought it was a bit strange, but he was short. So I thought maybe he's compensating because of the hat. So I sat in the show looking back and he's got like a great seat in the middle front. And I'm like, what's with this? Why is he wearing this hat? And he wore the hat through the whole show. What? The poor person behind him. We were sitting separately. And then at the end of it, I was like really annoyed. And he was like, OK, well, that was great, bye. And then he walks off with his hat. And I'm like, but, and I kind of wanted to give a speech about, you know, I'm a bit distressed that I was sitting there in the show, which was really good, but by myself. It was really bad. And like throughout the book, I talk about the KC wave, because my name was KC back then. And I, like, at the end of a bad date, I do a KC wave, and I didn't even get to do the wave.
Oh, no. He just took off.
He took off my wave, tipped the head, and you slowly back away. I didn't get to do the wave,
When did you notice it start to resonate with your audience, with people connecting with the stories?
When I wrote the blog, it was anonymous because I didn't want family and friends and people at work to know who I was because it was all quite personal. And then this thing sat on my desktop. After I wrote it, it was on the internet. And it sat on my desktop for 10 years. And then now that I've got a TikTok following, I thought, you know what? I can do something with it. It was a pretty good story and it was a great journey. And now I've got a happy ending because I have a partner of 7 years. I've got 4.5-year-old twins. So I have a happy ending. So I thought, you know what? Let's turn it into a book. So I self-published it. And now it's an Amazon bestseller.
Oh, so that's a happy ending.
Yeah, we love a happy ending.
You've got a husband, you've got 2 kids. It all worked out.
It all worked out. You see, it can happen.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And too bad the man in the hat missed out.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fidan.
Thank you very much. And good on you. That's a fantastic story, isn't it? Now the Christmas